Hey everybody, so welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since my last video. As you may have noticed, we went through a little bit of a name change. I like it a lot better than what I originally had. It actually fits the theme that I'm going to be going for. But in today's video, we're going to be making something that is out there. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like what I am about to build. It was very, very challenging. I will say that. I am going to make a Krayt Dragon scale Sith holocron. As you know, I have been doing a lot of holocrons lately. So let's go ahead and get into this thing.
So as you know, I have been cutting these parts out for a while now. I actually went through a process where I set up a jig now to go ahead and cut these parts out a lot faster than I used to, so I can kind of mass produce them a little bit. So yeah, now it goes by a lot faster. Also, one thing that I did not record, I did intentionally just to speed up the process of this video a little bit, is the negative spacing on the inside. If you've watched my videos before, you kind of have a general idea as to how I do it. I started with a coping saw at first, and since then I've upgraded to using my Dremel tool with a cutting wheel. So now comes the hard part, and it's going to be a little bit labor intensive, is putting the scales onto the holocron. I've played around with it a little bit. I think I found a method that I like. It's not necessarily ideal because I would prefer to lay my parts flat so I can go ahead and draw it all out. But it's a little bit difficult to get it right because of how things are going to end up flowing to a degree. So I have to end up gluing all of them together first, and then drawing it on there, and then using my Dremel tool, as per usual, to score each individual scale onto these things. Hopefully it turns out the way I intended to. Always trial and error, right? I guess this is where a Glowforge would be really nice and handy, but you know, priorities, right? So anyway, so yeah, let me go ahead and I guess get these things glued up, and then we will be on our way to getting these scales etched in. Yay! Okay, so trying my hand at doing dragon scales. I wanted to do a mock-up of trying to do it with a Dremel tool. It looks okay, but I don't think it has enough definition. So I'm gonna try to do a mock-up and a layout first of doing something else. I went to my local Walmart, and I got various sized popsicle sticks. So I'm gonna try and see if that works. All I gotta do now is just get to slicing some of these pieces off, and I'll try it out on a piece that I already have cut out. As you know, if you follow me enough, you've probably seen me cut these out a bajillion times. So yeah, I got these already prepped out, so I'm going to start laying out some of the pieces and going from there. So yeah, let's get cranking, I guess. So right here I am getting ready to measure out and then cut off the ends that I need to make my dragon scale. I tried different sizes and I found that the smaller size actually works a little bit better. It's crazy because it comes in a pack of 150, and that meant that I ended up cutting out about 300 end pieces to glue onto this thing, and that's a lot of pieces to do this with. I just used basic super glue to glue this thing on with, and I glued every piece on individually. There might be a better method to go ahead and do this, but to me, I enjoyed this process because I could kind of shape it the way I kind of envisioned it a little bit. But yeah, like I said, almost 300 individual scales. I say almost because there were a couple of pieces that were a little gnarly and like warped and stuff, and I didn't want to use those, so I just kind of scrapped those. But yeah, like I said, it was a very time-consuming process to cut out all of the popsicle ends. This is a progress shot. I did end up using some filler to fill on the insides to go ahead and kind of cover up any seams. And I used my Dremel to kind of shape off any excess popsicle sticks, and to also sand down the filler that I used. And right here, I tried using a rose gold kind of color, but it didn't really look all that good. It had more of a greeny texture, so I ended up just spraying it regular gold and then gave it a couple of washes of black to it. And right here, I am going through the process of designing what I would like to have in the acrylic, and what I came up with is that, so this is going to a family friend of ours, and he has a karate dojo with dragon in it, and so I used the Sith font to say dragon, and then there was another space that was above it that looked kind of bland, so I googled like dragon runes or dragon script or whatever, and I wanted to make this more personal, and so I ended up putting part of his address in the space above it, in the dragon script, and I thought that was a really amazing thing and very personal touch. And right here I'm giving a nice gloss finish to the dragon scales to make it pop and make it shine. If the camera vibrates, the dog was running back and forth every once in a while, causing the camera to shake, and I apologize for that. You might not be able to notice with this high-speed energy that's going on right now, though, but either way. And right here is, again, I do all of my own engraving by hand. There are no 3D printers or laser etching involved in the process at all, and it's kind of a really cool concept to be able to do all this free-handed. It challenges me with my skills to go ahead and try to really fine-tune what I got going on, and I get a thrill out of doing this kind of thing. It challenges me, and it's part of the creative process, you know, and in one video that I put out there is kind of the rule of the tool. In order to understand how the laser etcher works, you kind of have to know how the engraving tool works as well. So that's, you know, why I do what I do. And this right here is always a great moment, and a very satisfying moment when you get to peel that layer off and actually see what the engraving actually looks like once the film is taken off. I got a little cantankerous piece right here. Come on. Come on. There we go. Another one of those little tiny bits. We done yet? No. A little further. A little bit more. Come on. I think we got it. There we go. And that's kind of what it is. Kind of hard to see right now. You get the idea. And I fill in all the etchings with a dark paint just to go ahead and make the symbols pop a little bit more and make it easier to see. And yes, I do end up licking the tip of my paintbrush to keep it nice and tight. It's a bad habit of mine that I can't seem to break away from. And then I use a little bit of Gorilla Glue to go ahead and adhere the acrylic in. Trying to finalize this whole process. And I am now using the cutting wheel to cut out the bottom for the battery pack for the lights. I like to do a nice tight, well, semi-tight friction fit for the battery pack so it's easier to take it out and swap out the batteries. And now I'm marking out the holes for the screws to keep the bottom plate in place in case anybody wants to go ahead and swap it out and maybe put their own lighting system inside of it. All they'd have to do is just create a new bottom, and then they can glue it to it if they want to, or they can rescrew it to the bottoms brackets that I have installed. Yeah, sorry that I walked off. I forgot the utility knife to go ahead and kind of clean things up a little bit. Yeah, some of these screws were a little bit of an issue. And now I use my traditional cotton balls as my diffuser. I thought it was a nice little touch, and it adds a nice smoky effect to the inside, which I think is a nice, cool effect. And here is the finished product.
All right, so here is the finished product. This thing, like I said, was a blast to make. It was very challenging, and I have to say, for a prototype, I think it turned out really cool. So with that being said, this thing is not going to be made available initially. Now that I've worked out all the kinks out of it, with this being the prototype, and now I have a better understanding of how I'm going to make it in the future, this will be made available on my brand new Etsy shop. So I will make sure to leave a link in the description below where you can view my Etsy shop. And yeah, I'll be putting new stuff out there as often as I can. And I want to thank you guys once again for following me along with this journey on making these unique holocrons. This has become a bit of a passion project for me lately. just challenging myself with these different things. And yeah, if you like the content that I've been putting out on these holocrons, like, subscribe, comment, and if you're feeling generous, go ahead and I'll leave my Amazon wish list in the description below as well. And you can go ahead and purchase something and send it to me. That is in benefit of helping me to create more of these things for you guys and for my own personal enjoyment. Yeah, so I already have in mind another holocron that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do another Jedi one. As I've made now 3 different kinds of Sith ones and only 1 Jedi one. So I'm gonna try to make a brand new Jedi holocron with something else. So we'll see how that one goes in the next video. So stay tuned.